All right, looks like I have got to cross over this creek because where I need to go is right over there. So I'm trying to figure out the best place to go without getting my feet drenched. Hey everybody, guess where I'm at today? Well, if you said Land Between the Lakes, you're right. That's exactly where I'm at on this beautiful February Friday. It's February the 20th, and I'm here today at the southern end of Land Between the Lakes near the South Welcome Station to finish out the Fort Henry trails. I started hiking on these trails back on January the 1st, and just doing a section at a time. There are roughly about 30 miles of trails. I've already done 38 miles, which tells you I've gotten off trail a little bit and taken side trails and maybe a couple of times got lost along the way. But today is what's called the Bear Creek Loop, and that finishes out this portion of the Fort Henry trails for me. It includes the Telegraph Trail. I'll finish that out. And it also includes a little bit of the North-South Trail that runs from the South Welcome Station 60 miles all the way up to the North Welcome Station. It's 60 miles of hiking trails on the North-South Trail. That's another trail system I hope to accomplish this year. And I'm going to do it in segments like I've done the Fort Henry trails. Honestly, it's going to be a nice hike. Looking forward to it. It may get a little wet. We had some rain here at the beginning of the week that may cause it to be a little extra muddy. Somebody told me, they said, if you're going to do the Bear Creek Trail, go North-South Trail first down to Telegraph, because the Telegraph part, you got some crossings there over some creeks and it can get pretty muddy, may get your feet wet. So I'm going to save that for the end of the trail. Using my phone to film today. I've got one of those DJI cameras, the Pocket Osmo 3. And I don't know what happened, but last week the gimbal on it started messing up and it would not close on itself and lock the way it should when you turn it off. So I had to send it into DJI. I tried all kinds of little fixes I looked up online, but nothing worked. So I sent it into them on Monday of this week. And then midweek, I got email from them saying that they'd received it and they were repairing it. And then today I got an email back from them saying it's been repaired, it's been inspected, everything's good, and they've put it in the mail today. So I should have it back by next week. That's really fast. I don't know anybody that's had experience with service work getting done with DJI, but I'm telling you what, they did a wonderful job. I'm excited that they got it all done within a week. And so hopefully I'll get that camera back. So I'll be filming with my phone today, so it may look a little different and be a little different. I've got a gimbal I can use with my phone. So we'll see how it works. But looking forward to getting out here on the trail, and here in just a moment I'll show you what it's going to look like when I get out there. Okay, so here we are, Fort Henry Trails. This is the trailhead here nearest to the South Welcome Station. Parked right here, and the way I'm going to go today is all the way up here on the North-South Trail till I hit the Connector Trail. I'm going to follow it all the way down to here. This is where I parked before last time when I finished out a section of trails. So I'm going to come back and retrace my steps down to number 10. And then I'm going to come over to number 11 right here. At that point, the last time I went down this way and circled all the way around and back up. Well, today I'm going to finish out the Telegraph Trail by going up to 12 and 13, coming up through here to 14. Then right back on this loop to the parking lot where the South Welcome Station is. Somewhere in this area is where it's going to get, where these creek crossings is where it's going to get a little muddy. So I'm going to save that part for last. Maybe I can get around it. Here's a wide shot of the whole Fort Henry Trail system. And like I said earlier, I started right over here in this area, did all of that, came down, did this area, all the way down to here, and then just all through this area over time, just taking it one hike at a time. I really have enjoyed these trails, and right now it's the perfect time. After all the storms last year, they come through in the fall, got a lot of the debris cleaned up and out of the way, cleared off the trails. And if you want to do these trails right now, they are in great condition. I highly recommend it. Here's the sign for the North-South Trail. This is the trailhead for the very southern end of the North-South Trail. And I'll focus in here. So here's where I'm at right here, this spot. And of course, as I showed you on the other map, I'm going to come down this way, go this way, all the way down off of the North-South, back up to here. But here's the trail that goes all the way through Land Between the Lakes to the Golden Pond Visitor Center up here. A great place to stop, a gift shop, get some souvenirs, have a picnic, and then continues all along, all the way up to the North Welcome Station. 60 miles of hiking trails. They break it up to you in different segments there, and that's what I plan on doing when I start this. I'm going to do different segments, maybe anywhere from 12 to 18 miles at a time, and have to get someone to help me with that, with coming up, and I'll leave my vehicle at one end and then they can drop me off at the beginning of the trail, so I don't have to double back and hike it twice. But looking forward to doing this trail here that it's very popular. I think there are some areas up in here that are still being worked on from tornado damage from last year, so they have a detour set up. It's not on this map, but I'll get one from the welcome station, so I'll know exactly where the detours are to go around those areas until they get them fixed up. But maybe by the time I get around to it, it'll already be fixed and taken care of. But a lot to see and do here at Land Between the Lakes. I hope you get a chance to come out and check it out. So this is the beginning of the North-South Trail from the very southern end of it. And as you look around here at this parking area for the South Welcome Station area, see a lot of picnic tables, and there's the signage. Plenty of parking here. Across the street from the parking lot where I'm at is the South Welcome Station. It's a great place to go and get maps, need information about any of the trails or anything about Land Between the Lakes. They also have some snacks in there, some drinks, even a little gift shop where you can buy some souvenirs, but most importantly, they have restrooms. Another very peaceful hike out here at Land Between the Lakes. I've only seen a couple other folks today, one guy on a mountain bike, which this is a popular trail for mountain biking, and then just a couple others that were hiking starting on the end that I'm actually going to finish on. The North-South trails here at Land Between the Lakes all have the white blaze, so it's easy to keep up with as you're hiking from end to end. And there are several spur trails off of the North-South trail as well. They take you down to picnic areas and campsites, because a lot of folks, being a 60-mile trail, maybe try to complete it all within a weekend or a week. So there are different campsites along the way that people can go to spend the night. Okay, I've come to the junction. You see right here on this sign, the Fort Henry Trails will be to my left. That's the direction I'm going to go. I'm about to get on to the North-South Connector number 4. That's going to take me away from the North-South Trail, and it's going to take me down to catch the Telegraph Trail. So far, I've hiked about 2.3 miles, and that's all been on the north-south trail. Now this connector trail, it's about 1.5 miles that I will follow it before I connect back up with the Telegraph Trail down in the Fort Henry Trail system. If you notice, the blazes for this connector trail are yellow. If you remember, the blazes for the north-south trail were white. So if you get to that little intersection there and you're trying to go down the Bear Creek Loop, make sure you get on the yellow blaze trail. Otherwise, you're going to keep going further away and headed north into LDL. All right, made it to the road. You can look at all this water, all this mud. Crossing over 230. And now back on the north-south connector. And I've got a lot more water and mud to look forward to, I got a feeling. Got a bald eagle flying off. I startled it. It's taking off. And now I'm going to begin the final leg of the Telegraph Trail. Now, part of this I've already done. I did part of this trail on my last hike. You can check that out in my last video, my Friday the 13th video. And I walked a little over 1 mile on this portion of it before I turned down to the Peytona Trail. But this time I'm going to keep going and follow this trail all the way back to the trailhead where I parked my truck. This has definitely been an adventure today, trying to film using my phone on this gimbal that I'm still not completely used to, and trying to dodge all the mud and not fall at the same time as well. That's why I haven't filmed as much today. It's just been harder. I should have my regular camera back sometime next week once they've got it fixed. I think, like I said earlier, it is fixed. They're mailing it out today. So hopefully I'll have it back Monday or Tuesday. That'll be nice. But if you've enjoyed coming along with me on these trails, seeing Land Between the Lakes and seeing the Fort Henry trails, I encourage you to watch the other videos I have. I've pretty much documented all the trails I've been on for the Fort Henry trails. I also have a video of Dunbar Cave State Park in Clarksville, Tennessee. And as the year goes on, I plan on going back and re-hiking some of the other trails here I've done in Land Between the Lakes. The Honker Trail, the Hematite Trail. There's a lot of good ones. The Canal Loop Trail. And I did not document those. I went and took pictures and maybe a few little videos, but never anything for YouTube. So if you enjoy these videos and you're wanting to get out and check out these trails yourself, then by all means, please follow me on my YouTube channel at Free as a Bird. My name is Jimmy Bird. This is all new territory for me right here. I like it. Very nice. Very peaceful. All right, looks like I have got to cross over this creek because where I need to go is right over there. So I'm trying to figure out the best place to go without getting my feet drenched. There are the more rocks right here. And I don't see anywhere else to cross over that's going to be drier. All right, let's see what happens. I'm not going to film while I do this because I don't want to slip and fall. All right, right before I decided to cross, I looked downstream and I found this area right here. It's more deep right there, but there's a rock and there's this tree limb, and it doesn't look so bad on the other side. So this is what I'm going to try to do, is go this way if I can. Let's see. I made it, and just a couple little splashes on my shoes, but that's it. Whew. I think that was an owl. Yep, I believe that was an owl off in the distance. All right, I've reached point 12 on the Telegraph Trail. And if we look at the map here, point 12 is right here on this spot. So I started here, I've gone up and around and down this way and up here to 12. So I got 13. Then after that, 1.4 miles on up to 14, which is at the end of the trail. Takes me back to the trailhead and where my truck is. Yeah, definitely some sort of shelter was here in the past. I think I read somewhere that there may have been an old camping shelter over here. Look right there, looks like a pot. A couple of pots there, very old. And whatever this was. But yeah, maybe that's what this was, an old camping shelter. About to start walking up. Pretty steep hill here. It's the first elevation I've had in a good while. It's been pretty flat most of the trip. All right, I'll stop filming so you don't have to hear me huff and puff. Looks like somebody just piled some junk up there. But I gotta admit, Christmas ornaments randomly out here hanging between two trees is kind of odd, maybe even a little creepy. All right, I made it to 13. That's an old map sign right there, very old. And this looks like a old road, maybe a service road. All right, I go this way. I got about 1.5 miles, and then I'll have Fort Henry trails all complete. I've had quite a bit of uphill on this last leg of the trail, and you can see off one of the other ridges over there. I think that's Tennessee Ridge. See a little valley. I believe that's what I walked on the outskirts of to get to here. But about 1/2 mile to go, and I'll be back at the parking lot, and I think most of it from this point is going to be downhill. Uh-oh, looks like I'm gonna have one last stream crossing, maybe over that way, like right through those trees over there. That's the South Welcome Station. That's how close I am. I got this one last stream. We'll see if I can get over it without getting my feet soaked. So here's what I'm gonna do. I threw a couple of limbs in there, and I'm going to try to balance on those and get across, hopefully without slipping off and getting wet. All right, once again, I'm not going to try to film this while I'm doing this because I don't want to drop my camera. We'll see if we get across. It didn't work. Feet got soaked. But I made it almost the whole way without getting my feet drenched. But it could have been worse. At least it's not that cold. And I'm almost done. So I got another pair of shoes in my vehicle, so I'll go put those on. All right, full circle. Made it all the way back. Bear Creek Loop complete, and Bear Creek on my feet. Back here to where it started, Fort Henry Trails. All those red trails I have completed since January the 1st. Pretty excited, that's great. Thank you all so much for coming along on this journey with me on the Fort Henry Trails here at Land Between the Lakes. I've had a blast hiking these trails. Today's were some of the roughest conditions I've seen. Overall, the trail was in good shape, but there were more trees down along these trails than I have seen on the others. And maybe it's trees that have fallen since they cleared off back in the fall, but still able to navigate around them. That wasn't bad. The only problem was that last creek right there, Bear Creek, when I was trying to figure out a way across it, it just didn't work out. So I did get my feet wet on it, but it's okay. Actually, they feel pretty good. It's not bad. But thanks for coming along on the journey. If this is your first video, I do have other videos that show the other parts of Fort Henry Trails, starting all the way over at Kentucky Lake and then moving this direction towards the South Welcome Station. If you get a chance and you want to get out and have a nice, peaceful hike, come check out these trails. Very peaceful. I've hardly seen anybody else on them. Average 1 or 2 people per trail other than myself. But there's been several times I've gone out and it's just me and nobody else. And it is very peaceful. It's great to get outside, get some fresh air, and just go for a walk, go for a hike, go for it. It'll make you feel better, I promise you. I'm going to keep putting out more videos on here. I just started doing this year. My name is Jimmy Bird, and the site or the YouTube channel is Free as a Bird, because I'm going to be out flying around who knows wherever. And I've got more trails here at Land Between the Lakes I want to redo now that I've got a camera, and go back and film them and let you see them and see if you want to go check them out. There's some great trails here at Land Between the Lakes, and this is just the tip of it. Actually, the southern tip of it. So come along, stick with me. If you want to like this video, I'd really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. Like I said, just getting started, so hoping to build a following here. And if you like to get out and hike, or like to just go out and travel, because for me, it's more than just hiking. There'll be other things involved in this too than hiking. So I'm going to try to build on this year, let it grow, and just see what happens. But thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day.